Let's check out the other ending, shall we?
Yes! Yes! He bought it! I win! I am the ruler of this world now.
Yeah, that's pretty much what just happens with the other ending. But that's not all. If we click on the About tab, we actually get a behind-the-scenes video from the Neverhood team.
It all started in 1988 with an art show of mine called A Beautiful Day in the Neverhood. It was 17 paintings that depicted a little clay city with little clay people running around in it. Years later, myself and my team found ourselves at Steven Spielberg's house pitching this idea for a PC game, and DreamWorks Interactive loved it. We started brainstorming right there, and we started just drawing like crazy and coming up with monsters and contraptions and puzzles, and those were the most creative days of my life.
The story of the Neverhood is basically taken from the Bible in the account of creation and man's fall from grace. As claimant, it's up to you to use your free will to decide between right and wrong. In addition to that, you have to figure out who you are and what you have to do to reach that decision point. Claimant as a character is an innocent, but two questions to ask yourself when designing a new character are, is he funny or is he scary? In the case of all the characters in the Neverhood, Clayman, Willie, they're funny. But in the case of Clog, they're very funny.
After we established the style of the game, we went into the building phase, building the sets. First I mapped out the set and how it was going to be constructed. I ended up building two different sets, a large scale set for the camera to move through, and then a smaller set so that we could show the whole world. We didn't have enough room to actually build the whole world on a larger scale. A lot of the buildings were designed, a lot of it had to do with the limitations of the materials, the wood and the clay. And then some of the other elements of the world, some of the trees and a lot of the overhanging elements had to do with just nice compositions for each shot. That was sort of the way that a lot of the look came about, was really had to do with a lot of the restrictions and working on. What?
We used about 3 tons of clay, I'd say, to cover the sets and the interiors. We just stored the clay pretty much everywhere in the halls when I was a kid. What we did is we came up with a technique. We'd use hot plates to heat the clay up in like large turkey pans, and then we'd spread it with spatulas and putty knives and sheetrock knives and stuff like that. The colors that we had to mix, we'd get a sample on paper, and then we'd try and match it as close as we could, or I'd try and match it as close as we could, or whoever. And we just put it on, let it cool down, then we'd have to thumb it to get texture out so it didn't look like frosting on a cake.
I was in charge of the longer flick scenes in the game, some of the dramatic sequences. It's a really odd process. I start with storyboards. I draw everything out and paste the timing on it, record the voices, and then have the lighting set up, point the cameras, and after all this prep work, it could be hours for a shot, I finally get to get in and animate. The painstaking process of moving up it a little bit and shooting a frame. Moving up a little bit and shooting a frame. And it comes up to being about 15 frames per second.
The way that we approached the first-person movement was to build a track system out of wood. We looked into other systems, motion-controlled camera, and 3D generated artwork, but we wanted to stay away from all of that. We wanted to kind of go the low-tech route. The way that the camera movements are handled, the camera sits down on this track and is moved along in small increments, 15 per second. And the turns are handled by hubs that rotate, that the camera sits on and rotates.
Oh, he's running! Go, Chris!
My role in creating the Neverhood was to do all the puppet animation, the interactive puppet animation, where you are controlling Clayman or any of the other characters. That's the animation I did. Oh, I don't know, maybe 20,000 frames of animation using latex puppets with mechanical armatures and clay puppets with wire armatures. Yeah.
Hi, kids.
Hi, Terry.
My name is Uncle Terry.
Hi, Uncle Terry.
And I do the music for the Neverhood. It starts with a guitar. This is a guitar. And this is a guitar chord. What Uncle Terry does is he waits for the muse to visit him before he writes a song. I'm going to wait right now.
From the start of the Neverhood, we knew that that sound and music was going to be, an integral part of making the Neverhood come alive and be real. We wanted the sound effects to be very earthy, almost grotesque, thuddy clay. The music, because the gaming industry was all going to heavy metal and techno, we wanted to kind of take a right turn and go into blues and just Dixieland, just funky, crazy stuff, which we knew Terry Taylor, whom I'm a big fan of, was very good at, very versatile. He did a couple of songs, they worked out very well, and, well, he got hired. The voices of the characters, we couldn't afford any more voice actors, so we all did them ourselves. And I did Clog and Hoborg and Big Robot Bill, and Mark Lorenzen did Billy Trombone. Clog, we would have me say something like, "I know what you're thinking and you can forget it!" And then we would pitch it up an octave, so he sounded like this little, crusty little guy, evil, with evil heart.
To make backgrounds for the Neverhood, you very carefully plan out how you want the room or the puzzle to look. You build it out of wood, and then you cover that wood with clay, sculpting it to look just right. And then you shoot it with a digital camera, take it into a paint program, touch it up, and build any animations that go with it. And you put it right in the game.
I'm a recovering programmer, and I'm proud of it. I worked on the engine, I worked on resource compilers and just pixels and bits and bits, and I programmed and I slept a little bit once in a while, but mostly I programmed.
You know, when we first decided to make a video game using a bunch of clay and sets, I was really excited because that sounded like a fun thing to begin on. So we brought in some carpenters and they started building these wood sets, and I wanted to help, but I had to set up a network and write some animation tools for the artists. But then they started playing the set, and I thought, yeah, it's going to be fun. But I had to write a sound engine for the game and work on some of the first-person puzzles. And before I knew it, everything was built, and they filmed everything, and I hadn't gotten to have any fun. Just the artists had fun. The programmers, we worked in our offices. But they got to use computers. In fact, this is Doug's computer right here. He used it every day. He got to use computers and play with Klay. I was stuck using computers. Well, Mr. Doug Naple, this is what I think about that. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
I just sit here with my hands folded in my lap, very quietly. And if anybody comes by, I scowl at them, and they think they're interrupting something important, and they go away.
Don't worry about it. Just you're on it. Here's the track. Here you are. You click here. Would you expect?
So yeah, that was quite insightful. And we're just going to end here on the little idle animations that Clayman does. We just leave him alone for a little while. And that's about everything from the Neverhood, so we'll see you on the next I Feel Like Playing. See ya.